This is where the real fun starts. We're going to be discussing control flow statements. Control flow is which lines of code get executed and in what order. The first one we're going to discuss is the if statement. An if statement is a control flow statement that allows a program to execute a certain block of code only if a certain condition is met. For example, you might want to check if a number is greater than 0 before performing a mathematical operation on it. Because if you're going to divide a number by 0, things will go wrong. Here is the basic syntax of an if statement in Java. The condition must be a Boolean expression. That is, it must evaluate to either true or false. You could also simply insert true or false, but then it's no surprise what's going to be executed anymore. If the condition is true, the code inside the if statements block will be executed. If the condition is false, the code inside the block will be skipped. You can also use an else statement to specify a block of code to be executed if the condition is false. Here's the syntax on the slide. First, the code will evaluate the if condition. If that's true, it's going to do whatever block is specified for if. If the condition is false, it's going to do the else block. Additionally, you can use an else if statement to check for multiple conditions and execute different blocks of code depending on which condition is met. You can see the syntax here. As soon as it runs into one condition that's true, it's not going to evaluate any others, so the order of the conditions matters. If the first condition is going to be true, it's going to execute the code in the first block, and it's not going to look at the other condition or the else block. If the condition is false, it's going to evaluate the second condition. If that condition is true, it's going to execute the code in the block associated with the else if condition. After that, it's not going to look at the else, but it's going to continue with the rest of the code. If, in this example, the else if is false, it's going to skip the else if block and execute the code associated with the else block. The else block is only going to be executed when all conditions are false. If statements are a very powerful tool that can be used in many different ways to control the flow of a program's execution. In the next video, we're going to have a look at some practical examples of if statements in IntelliJ.